Attention passionate Seattle Seahawks fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Seattle Seahawks' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Seattle Seahawks fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Seattle SEAHAWKS fans. Let's get to the news all right. Seahawks fans, buckle up because what I'm about to tell you could be one of the biggest shakeups in the NFC West this season. And it involves a potential blockbuster trade that could reshape our entire defensive line and, honestly, our chances at a deep playoff run. Rumors are swirling that the Tennessee Titans are considering moving on from one of their most disruptive interior defenders, Jeffrey Simmons, and that the Seahawks could be at the center of this potential deal. This isn't just idle speculation. Sources close to the situation, including some reputable insiders like Adam Schefter, suggest that there's real interest on both sides, and the timing couldn't be more perfect for us. Now, let's break this down because it's a story that could define not only our current season, but set us up for next year and beyond. The Titans are sitting at a disappointing 4-11 record, and their cap situation isn't helping, with around $19 million in cap space and a clear rebuild on the horizon. Their defense has struggled, ranking 25th in points allowed per game, surrendering around 25 points on average, and their run defense has been particularly weak, allowing 130 rushing yards per game. The offense, meanwhile, has been inconsistent, averaging just 280 yards per game, which is pretty underwhelming considering their offensive talent. Given all this, it makes sense that the Titans are exploring options to shed some cap and acquire draft capital to rebuild from the ground up. And here's where Simmons enters the picture. Jeffrey Simmons is a game-wrecking interior presence, a player who can change the course of a game with his disruption. Just look at his stats for 2025. A PFF grade of 75.0, which ranks him around the 10th best among defensive tackles, and a pass rush grade of an astonishing 90.9, top in the league. That's elite pass rushing from the interior, folks. He's amassed 10 sacks so far this season, along with 37 solo tackles, 9 assists, and 4 QB hits. His pressures stand at a staggering 40, and his EPA per rush is 12, which is excellent. Simmons's pass rush win rate is 19.3%, the best among DTs, showing he consistently wins his matchups. Over his career, he's accumulated 45 sacks and maintains a career PFF grade above 85, making him one of the top interior defenders in the league when healthy. What makes Simmons so attractive isn't just his raw talent, but how he elevates the entire defensive line. Last year, the Titans brought in a new quarterback and are in full rebuild mode, especially after their struggles on defense, which have been a recurring theme. With Simmons potentially available, the Seahawks could jump in, and here's why. We're sitting with around $9 million in cap space, and we've already seen how impactful a disruptive interior lineman can be. Think about it. Adding Simmons would instantly upgrade our pass rush, which has been solid but could use that extra firepower. With players like Williams and Murphy lining up alongside him, Simmons would bring the kind of interior disruption that forces double teams, collapses pockets, and creates opportunities for our linebackers and edge rushers to feast. If Simmons joins the Seahawks, the impact would be immediate. Our defensive line would become a true nightmare for opposing offenses. We'd see a boost of around 8 more sacks just from his presence alone, and his ability to collapse the pocket could reduce the rushing yards allowed per game from around 110 to 95, significantly improving our run defense. His pressure rate would jump from 32% to around 40%, making it much harder for quarterbacks to find time, especially in critical third-down situations. The EPA per rush could improve from -0.8 to about 20, meaning we'd be more effective at stopping opponents' ground game and forcing them into uncomfortable passing situations. And let's not forget, adding a player of Simmons's caliber would elevate our defense ranking overall, going from the current 5th in points allowed, about 18 per game, to potentially top in the league, which is the kind of dominance that can carry us deep into the playoffs and, who knows, maybe even help us secure another Super Bowl appearance. But it's not just about the immediate impact. Simmons's presence would also be a huge boost for our young core, like Williams and Murphy, giving them more room to develop and learn from one of the league's best. It also helps us mitigate injuries. If one of our key players like Kalani or others gets injured, Simmons can step in and keep the level of disruption high. This kind of upgrade isn't just about this season. It's about setting a foundation for sustained excellence. Imagine a front seven that's constantly in the opponent's backfield, disrupting rhythm and forcing turnovers. That's the kind of identity we want going forward. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, but what about the cost? Well, the Titans are motivated to trade Simmons for a few reasons. Firstly, they're looking to rebuild their roster and free up cap space, with around $10 million in savings if they move Simmons now. Plus, their current odds of making the playoffs are over 0-1, so they're probably thinking long-term and looking for draft picks that can help them rebuild from scratch. The Seahawks offer, potentially a first-round pick in 2026 plus a backup defensive tackle, would be a strong package for Tennessee, especially considering Simmons' talent and impact. It's a calculated move, getting a proven star and a future first-rounder, which aligns well with our strategy of building a championship-contending team. And for us, this isn't just about filling a roster spot. It's about creating a new identity on defense, one that's aggressive, relentless, and capable of shutting down the run and rushing the passer at an elite level. Simmons would be a cornerstone, a player who commands attention and draws double teams, freeing up others to make plays. It's the kind of move that can transform us from a good team into a feared playoff powerhouse. And with the NFC West heating up, especially with the 49ers and Rams always lurking, establishing that dominant defensive line could be the key to finally overtaking our rivals and making a serious Super Bowl push. Of course, this kind of move isn't without risks. The cost of a first-round pick is always a gamble, and integrating a new player into the scheme takes time. But Simmons' talent is undeniable, and his ability to impact games is proven. Plus, if we manage to keep him healthy and motivated, he could be the missing piece that elevates us to a whole new level. It's an exciting proposition, especially considering how much we've invested in building a strong, versatile roster. Our defense has been solid this year, but adding Simmons would push us into that rarefied air of elite defenses that dominate in January and February. Now, let's look at what this could mean heading into the playoffs. Think about the kind of matchup nightmares Simmons creates for opposing offenses, especially those that rely on a balanced attack. He's a true X-factor, capable of changing the course of a game with a single sack or a disrupted run. If we can get him, it's like adding a turbo boost to our entire defensive scheme. Our fans have been craving a defense that strikes fear in opponents, and Simmons could be the catalyst for that transformation. Plus, it would send a message throughout the league. Seattle is serious about contending, and we're willing to make bold moves to get there. All this talk about Simmons, the trade, and the potential impact might seem like a dream right now, but considering the current state of the league and how aggressive teams are becoming in the AFC and NFC, we can't afford to sit back. The window is closing for some teams, and the Seahawks need to be proactive if we want to maximize our chances. Simmons' skill set, combined with our coaching staff and playmakers, could make us a nightmare for offenses come playoff time. It's about seizing the moment, making a statement, and building a defense that's not just good but historically great. So, Seahawks fans, get ready for what could be a seismic shift in our roster. If this trade goes through, it could be the move that defines our season and sets us up for a serious Super Bowl run. We've seen what a disruptive interior lineman can do. Just look at Aaron Donald, who's changed the Rams' defense for years. Simmons has that same potential, and I honestly believe he's a perfect fit for our scheme and culture. This is the kind of bold move that could propel us into the next era of Seahawks dominance, and I, for one, am fired up about it. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Seattle Seahawks news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Seattle Seahawks fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you think Simmons is the missing piece that can push us over the top? Would you be willing to part with a first-round pick for a player of his caliber? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Seahawks. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for all the latest Seahawks news. We're in a crucial moment, and I can't wait to see how this story unfolds. Let's go, Hawks!